essentially we went into, this is fresh, literally like last night, ran a mission where we went into the sewer system. So it's very intricate. So it started with the sewer system itself under Denver. And basically it was like a multi-step process of, we had like the rats, the multi-dimensional. So think of like Into the Spider-Verse where he's multi-dimensional and there's all these different versions of the Spider-Man. But imagine that as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So like the 80s and 90s version. So we called in the multi-dimensional Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And basically we went into the sewer system and just cleaned this fucking place out. We had the rats. We had the spiders in there to kind of like weave their lattices and their webs to catch all the sticky bits basically, and just completely ran through this sewer system. And then after that was like kind of pushed out, because I ran into the layers, I ran into kind of like these hidden nooks and crannies, these covens, these places and spaces that are tucked away in there. I found all of those spaces. And then basically flooded the sewer system with a two-part thing, so connected to the sulfur springs that's outside of that and plugged that into the sewer system. And that acts and also called in the primordial waters and plugged that in as well too from like the inner earth to apply that kind of like pressure up into the sewer system. But the hot mineral springs applies like the minerals, so we brought in the elements too to kind of like coat and almost like in a way like seal with like the sewer system itself, and allowing that to kind of, there was like a over by the Capitol, we built like these tubules, so like 3 triangular, almost like pipes, and connected them in like a triangle. But imagine a triangle that's kind of like has a spin to it. So as it comes into, as the sewer system flushes through these 3 tubes that are kind of at an angle, you get like an angular vortex to it. And then after that, this is very intricate, built a giant triangular quantum pillar kaleidoscope in the center, and basically anchored it on the Capitol. And this kaleidoscope is very multidimensional. You can imagine the light that is called in from this, like we call it in from basically across all that is. So not only from like, the local sun, but like above, and then use this to magnetize. So basically calling in, almost like sending an email or a text message saying, hey, for the demons, the lower dimensional forces, sending them a ping like, hey, in their sovereign, like, hey, attendance is required, and then magnetize this quantum kaleidoscope to call in like the lower dimensional forces, the demons, and they go into essentially what is like a very kaleidoscope quantum pillar of light frequency. There's a lot. That's what I remember so
I can
far.
see
But
that it was like very big, that thing in the middle. That was like
and then
huge.
what we did too is once we built this large quantum kaleidoscope and the demons and all the lower dimensionals. So this is like includes like timelines, egos, aspects, egregores, like across all that is. We connected that to the mountain grid. So there's like Pikes Peak to the south. There's like a system, not necessarily like due north, but basically to the northwest-ish area, and laid what was called a like the figure of a wishbone. If you think about a wishbone, laid that across kind of like Pikes Peak in that system to the north, and then laid that wishbone down and used that kaleidoscope in the center of it, and then the long portion of that connected it to Salt Lake City through Mount Olympus. So like a wishbone is like, like on a turkey, like the chicken breast, right? There's a wishbone. So it's kind of 2-pronged, laid that over Denver, and then extended the long portion out of that to the west and anchored through the mountain system like Mount Olympus into Salt Lake City and into our golden grids that we have here, because we have quite a bit of infrastructure kind of built out, and use that almost like connected to the water elements too, so like Utah Lake, the Great Salt Lake, and kind of like flush like a one-way valve through that wishbone, and kind of like pushing, like continuing to allow that to it was pretty intricate.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And wow, what a super great job. And really, I feel like a lot of the air around the city was like there's still like little spot, but that are like more like anchored a little bit deeper. But yeah, big cleaning. And what I see is I can know if I can no. Okay, I use this. So it's like let's say demons were like anchored there on the earth, and because of the swiping of the water and all the energetic, I feel like now like there are like more like floating, and a lot of them just got flushed. But like some of them are still here because they're like the little string to one particular person or other person that gave the consent to stay because they're not ready to let go. So some of them and energetically are like still attached. And I can see like, but they're not anchored. They don't have like
Yeah,
that
they may
power.
be. They're probably trapped in that kaleidoscope because we've got like the Ghostbusters frequency going in, and so we built that tower that I was telling you about, that kaleidoscope, and basically magnetized not just like planetary, but like we're talking like solar system. She went
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
is, and I was like,
Oh, I
okay,
can see it. It's pretty big. Yeah.
this is a large job. What you got?
So, so what our grid working is, as three of us, we're going to be each side of this, and we're going to each use one of our higher selves to call in the higher selves of the people who summoned these demons. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask them to relinquish this and cut the cord of their contract that they have with that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and we're going to take and fill that with like bring in diamond white light to fill the contract space so that they can be illuminated.
Yeah.
And then these demons will like, what happens is we cut their food source, and so they will dissipate back to source easily now.
Yeah.
So
And also yeah, and also to yeah, see showing the people that when they like unplug themselves, they are supported and they are fed from their self. I'm talking about the people, and they are
yes,
like they have like all that they need. They are sustained with that beautiful energy that we're gonna give it back to them instead of the plug. So just to let them see that it is okay to have your own sustainability. Yeah,
yeah, that they don't need to repeat that
they don't.
karmically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
absolutely.
Okay, good. Yeah, but
And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a vortex that's going to connect to Capitol buildings around the world. And we're going to going to drop that kaleidoscope underneath each one of those, because I was just getting like when Glenn was talking about that, I could see that they were the Capitol buildings hold emitter resonance into the field, and so they are all been hijacked, and so we're going to add that, like any Capitol building that you've been to or that you've seen, or anytime you mention, like you talk to, like if Glenn talks to Lenny, that like you guys could go through on another mission and make sure and do Capitol work or throughout the world, because we're going to want that kaleidoscope to be um, self-perpetuating, and that's what this like diamond vortex is going to do, help us be self-perpetuating, because I I hold a grid around the United States that has five different pillars. One is the one that's like nearest to me is Mount Baker. It's a mountain, a volcano. The other one is the Washington Monument in DC. There's another one in Florida that's called Ponce Inlet. It has a lighthouse there. And then the last one of the other ones that's it's in um, San Francisco, and it's called the Palace of Fine Arts. There's a dome there that I've each one of those I've placed a pillar at physically, and then the Tatiana's Mountain, the Centaur Mountain. Like this creates a, a grid that focuses energy, positive energy, into the field above Earth. So, and I'm tying that into wherever anybody else is going. Like that's what I've given. I've given crystals to Aurora and Tatiana. They're going to be placing some in like France and China. And so, like, I'm working on a crystal package that I can send to you, Genevieve, for sure, because I know that tree where if you can find that tree again, that needs one of these crystals to be tied at it, because it's like I've shattered this crystal to be like quantum entangled. And so, like, this grid that I'm helping to establish is through that and through all of us together in our little actions. And I think I need to send one to Salt Lake City also, it sounds like. So, uh, yeah. So let's, uh, now that it's been spoken, I think we can just, physically do that for a second or two where we're helping to create these kaleidoscopes at uh, Capitol buildings.
Did we want to we can start maybe let's just start in Denver to finish off those last little threads or filaments,
Yeah.
and then move out to and we can do like north, south, east, west type of frequency. We can have somebody
Yeah.
like hold the north, you're out west. I can either go, I'm more familiar with the south, so maybe I'll take south, and we'll have essentially like a stand-in, take like the eastern side of the U.S. or an aspect of us.
I mean, Genève can do one in Ontario there. Like if
Hmm.
there's a Capitol building there. I know the Olympia in Washington has a Capitol building that's similar to the one in Denver.
I'm connected energetically to the Capitol building in Austin. That's where I have
There you
a family
go.
member that's
Y-
there, so I'll take the
Yeah,
southern, and then maybe what we'll do is all three of us, after we anchor that when she comes back, we'll all three basically send our awareness, and maybe we can even use like DC as the eastern coast
yeah.
anchor
To
point.
like as a focal. Like I'll concentrate on like the monument in Washington D.C. and as long as each one of us focuses on like have you been to the Capitol building or near the
Hmm.
Capitol in
Yeah, I visited.
Ontario? Okay. Jen,
Oh, Jambier, Jambier.
yeah, okay. And so like yeah, let's concentrate on those and I'll like um
Jambier, we're going to start like in Denver and just finish the threads and filaments, and then move out. Vincent's taking west coast. I'm taking south. You're going to hold like the area to the, I guess, northeast, and then we'll all three combine to like east coast, like DC after. Does that sound okay? Does that sound okay? Oh, you're muted. Sorry. Go say, Jambier, you're muted.
Do you want to bring that energy to the obelisk at the Washington? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's
yeah.
start in Denver and just finish off the threads and filaments so that it's good, and then we'll move to our respective areas.
Sure.
And maybe we'll just cross confirm when we're good with Denver.
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm done with Denver for the moment for sure.
Okay. I'm complete as well, moving south.
I'm moving northeast.
Moving to the west.
We're anchoring that kaleidoscope into the city.
Gerçekten. I went up to until Atlant, um, the ocean. Coming back now through New York, I linger a little bit more. I think some of our community is helping me, and coming down to Washington.
All right, I'm finished in the south, moving to the obelisk in the east.
I've pulled like a tidal wave from the ocean of the Pacific and washed the capital a little bit too, and then I'm heading to the east, also pulling the energy from that. I'm feeling like metronome connections, like they hit each other, we bounce back and forth between it. So I'm like creating an energetic resonance between each one with, I think it's a frequency, like the metronome has its repeating frequency. So tum, 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 tum. It's creating like higher spin vortexes as we reach to the Washington Monument. Definitely seeing a gathering of us at the Washington Monument. There's lots of circles around the monument that like I think they're drawn with the sidewalks. Um, there's different groups of us doing this. Like we're pulling in some groups from the astral field who are working with this, and they're just going to help amplify the pillar of light that's there, uh, and using the pulsation of that metronome to like broadcast of a beam or a pulsation of light out throughout the surrounding area. It's like a heartbeat. We're just bringing in. It's the heartbeat of Gaia. It's becoming like the flower of life. Like I'm seeing multiple petals connecting to each other, like with the Vesica Pisces in between, and each place where they connect on the circle is also amplifying the light.
Yeah, definitely feeling whole team working with us.
I'm gonna kind of basically mirror the Washington Monument obelisk and then invert it and drop it into like the inner Earth as well to kind of like fully stabilize that quantum beacon.
Yeah, Archangel Michael's approves of that one. Like he's adding his light sword into this, spinning up and down. Archangel Raphael's here. There, he's adding of the golden green frequency of healing into this land, into the land there,
Yeah,
and into each place where like these capitals that we've worked on.
I can definitely see like the cross, like 4 points. So Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel, like
Yes,
holding those spaces of the fourth cardinal points. Like more, yeah, like guardians.
I'm also kind of initiating that like fresh flush protocol that I had shared with you too, specifically for like DC and the local metropolitan area. Just kind of like something about is coming through like the agitation, like the stirring up, just the actual like intention, the elements, just like that whole protocol basically, kind of replicating that, just opening it up a little bit, and even into the like reflecting pool, pulling in, like going like east and pulling in, like I guess that's the Atlantic as well too, and like looping that in.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was,
bringing the higher frequency of the elementals, like returning back to their purity.
I was calling in the like the crustaceans, like mollusks. The they're in Chesapeake Bay area right now, which is close to DC, and they're purifying the water, and they're I guess they were over farmed, but now they're being reestablished there. So they're bringing their energy into this as like the where they use the elemental, which is like they make their shell from the mineral, but they are a living being inside of the mineral itself, creating the pearl. Um, and but they're also like through the create they're just the workhorses of cleaning water. Um, so there, I feel like there's in the Potomac, which is right near DC. that the waters are needing this energy. So
I think that's definitely clearing, cleaning, cleansing. Yeah.
And then also bringing up through that kind of like mirror, um, beliefs that anchored into inner earth, almost opening, like bringing the primordial waters up as well through that too, to kind of add into this frequency that we're sharing.
And yeah, and I definitely see like the connection with the obelisk and Kemet, the ancient Egypt. Like I can see like how it was like in the same purpose of being like an amplifier, like the pyramids or yeah, the obelisk.
Something about clearing the archives too. I know we're kind of getting like, but there's something specifically about like, I don't know if it's like an upgrade, clearing the cache, clearing the archives, something
Like
like that's
yeah,
coming in.
restoring. I feel more like restoring like the originals, original like
There's even like yes, echoing the restoration, but also like there's something too about the Library of Congress as well too. Um, Something about that is also connected to what we're doing. It's more like updating the frequency of the Library of Congress, um, and this will allow all of those who visit there, and by proxy the people that they speak with, to have like that more higher dimensional knowledge as well too.
yeah. I can see like those library. There are like corridors, but some of them are very closed off. And but with that clearing or that lightness, like every time it's gonna be opening, like those energies gonna just like come in. Everybody's gonna be carrying that that new frequency. So it's just gonna like we like to plant the seed, and it's just gonna grow.
yeah, definitely. Like Archangel Michael came forward with holding truth, and he's going to flow like the blue light of truth through the Library of Congress.
Yeah, I can see that blue energy. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
There's also something coming through as well too, specifically about that large reflecting pool that is right next to the Washington Monument. Something about we did bring in the purified water, but something about being a clear mirror, right? And versus like, because there's currently a lot of controversy going on with the resealing of that um, reflecting pool, the repainting of the reflecting pool. So really just up leveling and updating that frequency through Sophia, so that it may act like, because many millions of people visit it, so that it may act like a higher dimensional golden mirror reflecting pool.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about the obelisk specifically. Let me know if we're getting any like completions.
I feel like it's activated. I can put like a crystal like on top, like to make the top of it crystalline.
I'm getting the trees are coming in to like adorn it as a tree, like as it if as it goes into the atmosphere, it is like the tree trunk, and they're giving it lightning energy canopy, like branches, and it's energizing it in its to be in its true form.
And also, you know that trees are clearing the air by photosynthesis. So, yeah, to be not just a beacon, but also a purifier, crystalline purifier of their surroundings, just like the trees are doing, right? I can see like birds are gonna be connecting to that new tree. More birds are coming
And I
around
think
the obelisk.
I think what we'll do, maybe like the last step too, is as it's fully anchored, like let's just grid and connect all four of those cardinal directions, like the capitals, and then link into um, the original one in Denver, that quantum kind of kaleidoscope, quantum pillar frequency. So I guess that's technically probably like a 5-pointed star, maybe. They're also saying that if we haven't, or if you're aware of the golden grids in these specific areas too, that we can once because I got all the obelisks or I got all the pillars connected rather, those kaleidoscope quantum pillars of light, and you can expand the golden grid into that city if you're not aware, or connect it. Um, I'm showing Austin and Denver um, golden grids complete.
I've got a strong connection between all of the Capitol buildings that I've connected to, and the obelisk. And I think there's one that I got shown in France that I connected to an obelisk that was part of the Knights Templar um, something there. So I think I'm complete on that for right now.
I think it can be like allies to the obelisk that is in Washington. because I can see like the obelisk of Karnak, just like connected to France and connected to like a triangle connected to Washington also.
What was the cities too? Just for I would just wanted to write down. Was it Ottawa in the north, or was it a different capital city?
In Canada, the capital is Ottawa, and then you have like the iconic, very high tour, which is like a restaurant, which is the Toronto Tower, which is in Toronto. And at the very pointed of the east there, uh, point of Canada, you have like the New Brunswick, where there is like a big pharaohs. How do you call that? Those towers
Ferris
for the ships.
Tower for the ships.
Yeah. So yeah, that can also be good to connect just the ocean. Yeah, I can see now all the cities connected. Wow, you did a great job. There's a lot of them. Wow. Okay.
Vincent, just for clarification, did you do Olympia or did you do the city that you're in?
Olympia.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to write it on my notes.
I also connected to St. Louis, San Francisco, or like I think it's Sacramento is the capital, and uh, also it was like Georgia, Atlanta. I connected to that. So
Okay, perfect.
Tell me when you want to go back into Denver.
Yeah, we can go back to Denver. I looped back into Denver, so I did all the cardinal directions and then basically met back up in Denver as kind of like that central zero point because it's basically almost dead center of the U.S. I'm anchoring.
Yeah, I can see that. Pulsing. Still, your metronome is on, Vincent. Still pulsing. I'm there.
Yeah, that feels pretty complete to me. The golden grids are still going to be like I'm just setting it into perpetuity, just setting it into like full automation to continue um, the intention, continue um, that clearing, and then the expansion of the golden grids as well too. And
yeah, I'm calling on my fairy aspects to like hold each one of these places like as like helping to build and continue making it stronger over time.
also just Updating the local field offices too. Feel free to connect and send out that information to the local field office so that they can reach out to their networks and let them know about the infrastructure that was placed. Updating all of our personal records. Um, any records that need to be updated, whether it's like the capital records, the libraries, personal records, planetary, Akashic, um, our local solar system Akashic, galactic, so unified universal Akashic, and beyond mission logs, updating with Seth and Dave as well too. Feel free to update any of your teams that need those updates, sending out that information as well.
And Vincent, can you tell me how we were talking about maybe like for the people that was also connected to still some frequency, is those places that are emitting, are they emitting like frequency for those people who are still attached or not? How do you see that?
I'm seeing that it's an ongoing thing. Like I have parallel aspects of myself dealing with a lot of this. I think like that's what I branch myself into is like there. It's a slow process for some of it, but I see the light is starting to like emit. So the like I'm seeing the disintegration of the symbols that were placed in some of these darker sewer areas to be diminished and replaced by just the mineral kingdom is coming in to help coat them so that they aren't uh, emitting the detrimental life force energy anymore.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's why I
so.
called in the fairies to help. Like they're going to help build the positive grid as time continues. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing right now. So I'm seeing a lot more light come in, but like, I do have parallel aspects of myself to continue the work
Perfect. I
with a
can.
meetup date, the 6th, June 6th. It's a meetup date again, so like update at that point. I think we need to probably revisit if we're going to have our 6/6. Have you thought anything about that? Bill?
Oh, 6/6, yeah, we'll definitely do something for 6/6. Um, so I like that. We'll basically probably just set this into full automation and perpetuity and allow it to continue across all that is, and then we can revisit.
I just want to anchor also um, the new crystalline witch, which is like everything that are connected to magic and stuff like that. That can be like um, transmuted into a more like a crystalline way, just like it is possible, just like it is possible out there to be like uplift and to break, those chain that there's only one way to do magic or there's only two ways. There's also like an aligned way, a crystalline way. So, oh yeah, wow, that I can see like few timeline switch right there. Wow, that's fun. Okay, thank you. Yeah, definitely the help of the fairies now.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that in. That made a huge difference.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for all of that really critical, amazing grid work. I just want to thank all of the guides, helpers, allies, guardians, our councils, our teams, our highest self, highest, purest essence, pure consciousness, or oversoul. All of the children as well too, our inner children, all of the elements, different kingdoms, the tree kingdom, Sasquatch came in, mineral kingdoms, the sulfur springs, the water element, the water, the bay, the Atlantic Ocean, the consciousness of each city as well too, for consenting to allow us to grid work with them and expand the golden grids and anchor this higher dimensional architecture to help uplift, up-level, the lower dimensional forces that we've spoken about. The multidimensional Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the rats, the spiders, who else? The birds came in, I think, too, the trees. Who else am I forgetting? I feel like there's a lot more. I just want to name some of them to give them gratitude. If you guys have any, let me know. Unmute. And our personal teams as well too, who gridded with us. Those who are joining us in the astral. And all of our support as well. Thank you to Seth and Dave. All of the keepers that step forward. The planetary librarians. And also the harmonisticians who help to basically harmonize all of this across all that is. What else? I feel like there's more that needs to be given gratitude to. I don't like to forget anybody. The fairies, yep, thank you to the fairies, the elementals, dragons. Vincent, what you got?
Yeah, dragons, I was just bringing them in there. And our cosmic mother and father. Yeah.
The angelics too, the archangels. If you guys, I don't remember them by name. I think Janvier named them all. I only remember like Raphael, Michael, who else?
Gabrielle and Uriel. Yeah, thanking them too. And the, I don't know how you call them, Vincent, but the mollusk that was in the sea. Yeah, those animals from the sea too.
Yes, yeah, the crustaceans, the crabs, the lobsters, the mollusks. All of our star families too. Definitely giving them a shout out for having our backs, for assisting energetically in the field, for gridding with us, for weaving with us, for expanding us. The Stream Consciousness Council, which is us, our Grid Working Council, which is also us as well too. Just deep love and gratitude to every single person here. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Janvier. Thank you, Glenn / Fateboi. Thank you to all of our friends who are also, there are several who are very aware of this time. They just can't make it today, but they contribute energetically. I know Aurora's doing that as well too. So yeah, thank you so much for that very powerful divine masculine feminine activation harmonization earlier. That was very potent and powerful, and looking forward to seeing what comes of that as we continue to weave and grid. And yeah, thanks for taking time off of work and hanging out with us, Shami and Vincent. I know you're both at work. Technically I'm at work, but it's not like the work that you do.
Thank you. Thank you also. Thank you. Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even those who possibly are listening, I appreciate you also. Thank you.
All right, have an amazing weekend. We'll see you on the Telegram or in the messages. All right, have a great rest of your day. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye.